So my friend's dad, he called me the Cornbread King.
It sticks like cornbread. So do you even love cornbread? Y'all can wear an ass whooping. I can't, man. I can't, dude. Like,
when I make it bigger than myself, that's when I have the motivation.
I feel like I got hurt more in football than MMA. Like, because it's just like a car wreck.
Please, allow me to show you something.
all right, you guys, welcome to the Savage Mountain Podcast. I'm your host, Dan Quan Mickel. This is where we have familiar conversation with unfamiliar faces. This show is brought to you by Neo Life, Physical Therapy and Wellness, and also Neo Fit, hosted by yours truly, me. Today, I bring to you two incredible fighters, two incredible people for sure. Two unorthodox individuals. One we've had on before with a pretty wild story with an axe, and then the other has a very, very unique nickname. So I'm going to turn the table over to Justice Cochran.
Yes, sir. That's right.
All right. And Gavin.
Dozier.
Dozier boy. All right. So this is what I like to say. I like to set the table. And also, you guys, thank y'all for being here. You didn't have to be here. You chose to be here. And I truly do embrace that. So, again, I like to set the table, and I like to have that origin story as we've done before. So, with Justice, could you give us the origin story of
The Cornbread King, my nickname.
Cornbread King?
So
Yes,
basically, I was in high school, and I was in like 11th grade, and I was like not into like sports or anything, not into working out. I was I was probably like, I could show you a picture and it'd blow your mind. I was probably like 150 pounds, like just real small, didn't do anything, and I got into football. And I was like, man, I'm gonna sell out for my senior year. So I got huge into working out and stuff, and like got up to like 185, 190. And at that time, the Liver King was like a big thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So my friend, I like made like a little TikTok of like transformation video.
Yeah.
And my friend's dad like commented on it, the Cornbread King, just because like I'm from George County, Lucedale, like it's a real country like place, and like nobody fights from there. It's just like you just farm. You graduate high school and you're a farmer. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my friend's dad, he called me the Cornbread King. So then my friend started calling me the Cornbread King, and then at football, everybody was calling me the Cornbread King.
Yeah.
And so when I came down here, so I graduated, and then I started driving to ATT to train. Like nobody knew who I was, you know. And then I got my first fight after it's like 5 or 6 months after I started training down here, and they come to the back and they're like, "What's your nickname?" And I was like, "Oh heck yeah, the Cornbread King." Yeah. So then now everybody I train with like knows me as the Cornbread King now. Dang. So it's like I love it, man.
Yeah, I love it too. Whenever like
It sticks.
It sticks, man. It sticks like cornbread. So do you even love cornbread?
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah? Oh.
Yeah, I grew up on it. Like I said, like it's a real country upbringing.
Yes,
and,
man.
But the funny thing is, like it's so common in like my household, just say like eat cornbread. Like every time after I've weighed in, I go home and my mom's got cornbread ready.
Waiting for you.
Yeah.
Dang.
I put some honey on it.
Come on now.
Like, and I love it.
Man. So, all right. Now, I don't know, we may be diving into cornbread a little too heavy, but I'm country boy as well. Now, I wasn't raised in the country as long as you was raised in the country, but I was in the country. Nonetheless, are you eating real cornbread or is it Jiffy cornbread?
I really don't know because my mom cooks it. Yeah, like I don't know if it's Jiffy or real. It's got to be real because it's in the cast iron.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, it's got to be. Like, yeah,
that's all you need,
bro. Yeah, that's it, man. You cast iron it, bro.
Yeah,
I tell you what. Quick story. We went to my wife. She's been taking me out to different places because all I was happy with was Louisiana and Mississippi. I was content. I didn't need to go anywhere else. But then she took me to not Nashville, Sevierville in Tennessee. And it was like a farm There was a place where they had the food. I forgot what the food was called. I think it's called Five Farms anyway. And it had 3 pancakes, 3 cakes, platters. And I'm like, man, it's small. I got to smash this. And she was like, she looked at me. This was a big lady. She looked at me. She goes, you look like more than one. I think it'll be 1 for you, sir. I was like, disrespectful. I said,
Of course. Absolutely.
I said, give me 3. I said 3. She goes, okay. Walks off. And we're sitting there waiting. And I'm sitting there waiting, dude. And then she come back and then she had 3 cast irons of just, like she said, these are cakes. I'm like, these are not pancakes. This is what cornbread.
Okay.
It's a whole 3 things of cornbread that she
Yeah.
done put on me. But I was like, I thought that was called pancake. I thought it was pancakes, but it's a difference.
You're like, I'm
and
waiting
whatnot.
on pancakes to come
You know,
out. Yeah.
I'm waiting on like 3. She said, no, son, those are flapjacks. This right here. And she like 3 cast iron. I'm like, bro, these things was thick with a little bit of honey. I mean, a little bit of syrup on it. And I was like, man, this is about to be a situation, bro. I felt,
I'm about to be hurting.
bro, I'm about to be hurting, dude.
I'm about
She
to
said,
carb load.
bro, she said, I told you 1. I said, man.
You were looking at her like she was crazy. You were
Yeah.
like,
1.
1.
But I shit you not, every time I hear your name, the Cornbread King, I think about that. I'm like, bro, he gotta be. Cause you an animal, so I'm like, he probably ate all 3 of those.
There's also
in those situations.
that phrase that's like, oh, that's a cornbread fed boy.
Yeah.
When you're talking about somebody being strong, you know?
Come on now.
Yeah.
man.
I feel like I fit that good. Like I'm like a wrestler, you know, like I think my best style, like I do a lot more like strength training than like the regular guys, I would say.
Yeah.
Like my game plan is to like run across and take you down.
I mean,
know,
you
hold
did 5, you only did 5 to 6 months of training and then you went to a fight, huh?
So I did 6 months of jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
and I was like, I need to get a plan because where I'm from, like that's all we had was a jiu-jitsu gym. And I was like, I want to be an MMA fighter. Dude, I'm gonna lose like being here. You know, I'm not getting enough training. So I started working at Ingalls shipbuilding, construction work.
Yeah.
And literally the day I got hired on, I went and bought a car and got my parents to co-sign so I could get it.
Yeah.
And then I started training 6 more months at ATT and had my first fight ever. And that was November would be, I think, 4 years I've been training.
Gotta
So-
be. Because that's when I first laid eyes on you.
Yeah, so in about three years and like 6 months, I've had like I think 15 fights. Yeah, but it's just like I just
So like and to piggyback off of that, so 15 fights, aggressive. Y'all styles are very different.
yeah, way different.
Would you say like you're more of like a methodical technician sound?
Yeah. I'm trying to outsmart you
Yeah.
for the most part. Yeah. I'm trying to be a couple steps ahead of you.
He's elusive, you know.
Very very elusive, but the way your build is, it's like you have like more of an anime strength.
Yeah.
Both strong, but just in different ways. You're the traditional, like when you look like strength. When you come out, if I was on a football team, I'm creating a football team. Like, all right, if you're my quarterback, I'm fine with that. You look like the quarterback. You got to be the smartest person on the field and know what's ever going on. But if I want to mentally psych someone out, Cornbread, get off the bus first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
As soon as you get off the bus, bro, you just looking like, I got to get in there with him.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And it fits his style too. It's like,
Yeah, y'all, both y'all styles.
he's
fit.
one of those people that like, and I love this so much when fighters are like this. He's one of those people that you know what he's gonna do, and he still does it to you. You know what I mean?
And that's
I love it.
that's like a brute strength. Like that's the football mentality of it as well. Because like I got on Chase's shirt. Chase was an offensive lineman. That's where like you have to move a grown man from A to B against his will. He knows you want to move him to B.
Yeah.
And you're going to move him to B. Like that's your job.
I think
like it's just the matter of it.
that's why I think I fight so much, from the satisfaction of that. Like, oh, he knows what I'm about to do, and like I'm about to just still do it and beat you. Like so that's like really addicting,
Man.
You know, like because it's
Yes.
just such a dopamine rush.
On another level, would you say like it's a level of arrogance on your end?
No, because
No?
I would say no because it's just the skill set I've built for myself.
There
Like
we
I
go.
poured way more time into that skill set than like an elusive guy. You know, like I always like when I was like when I first started, like all I wanted to watch was like the Russians, like the Khabibs, the guys who have the same style I have.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, man, that is awesome. You know, how it just you could just see it in their opponent's face, like, oh, this is terrible. You know, like when am I going to get out of here?
They
Like,
break
this is-
mentally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they break them. And again, like I said, if I want to get somebody mentally, get off the bus first.
Yeah,
I don't, because if Gavin gonna prove it to them once they get in the ring. But while he's like, if I just see him walking, I'm like, oh,
Like if
okay.
you fight me, I want it to be like I want you to feel confident leading
Going
up
in.
to it, and then when you get in there with me, be
Yeah.
like, what have I got myself into? You
Yeah,
know?
like because like look, if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, and one time I had the luxury of coaching against Gardner Minshew, and he was in Brandon, Mississippi, and these guys are unreal, and the coach called like a certain play, and he had wide receivers sitting down, and they're on their routes, and you don't see that. I only saw that on Sundays, and I saw that whenever I played Madden myself, which is a simulation of Sundays. But when we saw it on a high school level, we're like,
oh man,
bro, this ain't no quarterback from the coast. Like he's doing something different, but you had to get in the game to really feel it. And the same thing with you,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, you get in the cage and then you do something, you're like, oh, I wanted to be in here. I don't want to be in here now, but it's too late,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But before you even get in there, like that kind of energy, they're already thinking about, all right, I'm about to be in a fight. And you ain't even said shit to them.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
off the makeup of you and yourself, but also you got a style that wasn't very exciting.
Yeah,
I remember whenever, because I was calling Khabib shish kebab. I ain't know him from a can of paint. I was like, shish kebab going against not Matthew. Dang it. What's his name? He's going
McGregor?
down. Yeah, it's going
Yeah,
against McGregor.
Yeah.
And McGregor was the heavy favorite, and he has more an exciting style. And Khabib came in, and again, matchup sell fights. And his style was not something that was exciting. It's a blood sport. Everybody's going for this. But then Khabib just annihilates him with a style that's very technically sound, not exciting, not knockouts or nothing. He just smothering you.
yeah. Like the people would rather see like a.
And y'all can stop me if I was wrong. But that's
No,
just-
you're
that's
completely
what I was
right.
saying.
Like the people would rather see like a style like Gavin, but for me, I've never thought like, oh, dude, I want to entertain the people. It's like I just want to get him.
Yeah.
You know, like it's never
I wanna get
been
it.
like
Yeah.
in my mind. It's never been. I want to make everybody like. So I mean, I'm not like putting down like his style. Like it's awesome. Like it's
Yeah.
cool. I'm sure it's like more fun than what I do. You know, like submitting people and stuff. I'm sure it's awesome to like knock somebody out. You know,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's just that's the way the cards rolled for me.
Another
and I've
thing
just
I-
rolled with it.
I think Cornbread found like I didn't necessarily when I was a kid and I was starting to really get serious about martial arts go like I want to fight this way and it just kind of is what happened. And then I think for Cornbread he found his like I think with martial arts you want to find yourself too.
Yes.
So you want to find like what do I do? Like what works for me? And I think he found himself. You know, he
Yeah.
found like who he is and what works well for him. You
I
know?
think you lean into that one on a personal level because
Yeah.
like you have it was a very simple life back home, like George County.
Yeah.
Like you said, it was school, football, or farming.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, like, it's so simple there, and I miss it so sometimes because it's so different. You know,
it's peaceful.
Yeah, it's real peaceful. But like, there was no like summer to me. It was
Yeah.
like I was throwing watermelons in the
was
summer.
working.
I was
Yeah.
working since I was 13.
Yeah,
you know?
no, I
like.
remember some of that.
Yeah.
Like, but that definitely shaped me and gives me an advantage in MMA.
Yeah.
You know, just that hard work upbringing. You know,
Yeah.
my dad, he's like somebody I'm like, he's such my hero. You know, he had 4 boys, like all within like 5 or 6 years, like same mom and everything. Like,
So the mom gave birth.
Yeah, like back to back to back 4 times. And
Lord, what's your daddy name?
Zach.
Tell him chill out.
They wanted a girl. They got all 4 boys, but just like his,
Dang it.
but just like me,
Running back.
but just like me growing up watching him, how it was just like he would just always get stuff done. He was always working, and like he never was like, man, I'm tired. Like I was like, man, I want to be just like that,
Just like that.
And I just, I think I applied it in a different way, to a sport, not a job.
Yeah, and that's go ahead.
Yeah, just watching him growing up like really shaped me for my future.
That's incredible. Two drastically different individuals in the same sport, but y'all mesh so well.
Me,
He's my best friend.
Yeah,
dude.
man. We've
awesome,
always
bro.
just clicked, man. Like, and I think me and Justice, like, because we push each other a lot. Me and him are exactly the same in the sense that we want to push hard in training.
Yeah.
We're like, me and him when we're training together, we're like just pushing hard, just trying to get each other to break so that we both grow from it.
Yeah.
And some people, like, they don't have that push in them,
Dude, that's a physical thing that y'all do, but people don't. And I think we highlighted this before, where people forget the in between and how the in between is the camaraderie, the team concept that it is with teammates. Only people that a lot of times people that go into the events that y'all showcase on, they only seeing this is the first time they're seeing you.
Yeah.
They only seeing the result of like, all right, this guy coming here to fight. Either he win or he lost.
Yeah.
They don't know Monday,
Like
Wednesday.
we accepted it yesterday.
Yeah. The process of getting to that point.
Yeah.
And the teamwork and the willingness to be vulnerable and be like, you know what, if Cornbread gets the best of me today, I'm gonna get his ass Wednesday. But all of that is gonna be in the namesake of once the date that comes, July 26th, he's going to be prepared. Because I didn't let him down.
Yeah,
throughout
exactly.
the process.
Yeah. Sometimes when he's like beating me up or something, I'm like, we'll be kind of in the middle of it. I'm like, he's about to crush this dude that he's fighting. He's about to kill this
Dude, there you go. But dude, that's awesome. I know some people I know the one that separates me from y'all. I say this, man, y'all can wear an ass whooping. I can't, man. I can't, dude. Like, he hit me on like, bro, we
never have had a moment where it was like, hey bro, what are you doing? And we have like killed each other.
Yeah.
Like just killed each other, and it's like, man, thank you for pushing.
Only
me.
ever gotten closer.
Yeah.
That's a superpower in itself, bro. That is crazy. Let me pivot a little bit, because how quickly you jumped into becoming a pro, you've done the opposite. And what's for someone that doesn't have a very aggressive style, but not exciting style, you have all the tools. So what's been that limiting factor that's stopping you from jumping to that full commitment of like identifying yourself as, I am a professional fighter?
Yeah, man. I'm really glad that we're talking about this, because I think I can highlight some things that everybody, or maybe not everybody, but people that need to hear it can relate to.
Yeah.
But for pretty much my whole life, man, I've struggled with just like mental illnesses and stuff like that, you know, and just stuff that's like held me back in a lot of areas of my life.
Yeah.
And I think one of the biggest things, like kind of like we talked about the last time I was on, was just the self-doubt and like fear of failing, you know, and just being like, there was a lot of periods where I was like, I've always known that I was talented and stuff, but there was a lot of periods where I was just like, well, I'm content helping other people achieve what they want to do. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just do that. And then I cornered Justice a bunch of times. I cornered my buddy Aiden Lama's Bilbo. I cornered Bilbo, you know. I'm like helping them get ready for fights. And I'm like, I'll just take a backseat, you know. But I feel like when I make it bigger than myself, that's when I have the motivation. Because when it's for me, if I'm like, man, I'm going to be a star, I'm going to be like this and this, then it doesn't really motivate me as much. But if I think about like, okay, I can have a platform to inspire people, that's motivating. That's bigger than me, you know? And that's where I had to get recently, when I'm like, and me and Alan were actually just talking about this earlier on text. Just looking at it like this is another day at the office. Whenever I have a fight coming up, it's another day at the office, and this is creating my platform. I can help people. You know, it's bigger than me. Like I'll put myself on the line for somebody else. You know, to an extent, in a way. You know, maybe not directly, but that's kind of how I look at it. So that's what helped me lock in. Like, all right, it's go time. You know, like it's time to. And then once I made that commitment, and I said like, we're doing this for real now. Like I've trained enough, you know, I've been training for so long. Like I said, I had my first fight before he even started training. Yeah. I've been doing martial arts for forever, you know?
Yes, indeed.
And so a lot of that was like, I need to get a little bit better. I need to get a little bit better first, and then I'll do it. And then a little bit better first, and then I'll do it. But I got recently where I'm like, there's never going to be a right time. I'm always going to be able to get better until I'm dead. So we need to go now. You know what I mean? Like it's time to go now. And come to that point where it's bigger than me. Let's do this. I'm going to inspire some people. We're going to make it happen, you know. And once I committed to it, right after that, I had a fight scheduled. You know, that was my last. I just fought 2 weeks ago, and right after I made that commitment, I'm like, here we go, time to fight.
He really like. I mean, I wouldn't have some wins if we didn't have Gavin. You know what I'm saying? Like. When he took this last fight, I was like, I need to be wherever Gavin's at and help him out in training, because I had so many fights where he helped me, you know, so I felt this like, I need to repay him back. So I'm like texting him, hey, were you going to be at ATT tonight? You going to be at Steel Coast Friday?
Dude, he helped me so much for this last camp.
I just felt, thank you, but I just felt like so much I got to be there for him. You know, because he was there for me just so many more times than I was for him. You know,
that's a beautiful thing that y'all are selfless in a very selfish sport. That at times where you've seen people that get up to those higher ranks that have a level of selfishness that they have that you got to have in regards to like being great. It's a sacrifice that you got to do, that you got to have in regards to like other portions of your life. You know, like if I'm gonna be in here pushing this, I got to be here from 6 to 6.
Yeah, you got to put in the work. Yeah,
but you got to put in the work. You just understand that it's a building. It's not going to be forever, but it's a part of the process to getting where we need to be.
I think that's one of the biggest things, like as a spectator, that we don't realize is like how much of a team sport it actually is.
Absolutely,
100%, man.
Yeah, big team sport. And again, just having to act and engaging. But having like teammates, and I say this all the time, not all your friends are your teammates, and not all your teammates are your friends.
Yeah.
And so for y'all to engage and have this level of fellowship that bleeds outside of the cage, man, that's awesome. Because like whenever it's you and Bilbo, or if it's you and Allen, or you and Justice, it's like it doesn't stop. It's not a stagnation there. It's a level up approach that y'all got, but it's all for the betterment of the team. Do you feel like, and either one can ask, but I've been a spectator and I've seen where people that's from the American top team, where everyone, like not everyone loses, but it's had more losses than wins on a particular card.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But as of late, and I don't know if it's just the chemistry, like the friend, like what has clicked where it's more on the winning side than it is on the losing side now, as far as like as a unit.
So big one is Allen.
Yeah,
huge one is Allen. For a while, Allen was focused on his career and stuff, you know, and what he was doing. Recently, man, he's been like just always just helping everybody. He's kind of, that's what he's locked in on right now, and he's made such a difference. Like it's unbelievable. So I can't even give him enough credit, and he's part of the reason that I had the mental shift that I had, you know, and he inspires me every time like we're together, you know. Like he's just that's my guy that like I look up to, you know. But also I think guys like maybe me or Justice or Bilbo trying to change the culture in the gym where it's like we win together, we lose together. You know, it's not about me. It's about all of us.
There we go.
And I especially have like really been trying to get like everybody together, you know, like we all do this as a team, you know, because I want to make a difference. And I feel like that's one way I can make a difference. Like, hey, everybody's included, you know, as long as you're not bringing bad energy, you're part of the family.
Yeah.
You know?
I view you as a quarterback of, cause again, like I was at the gym. I wasn't necessarily doing what y'all do, but I've been there until recently, but I've always been there. I'm like, if Mike's the CEO, and then who's going to be the quarterback of the situation, I think it's
Man, Mike too. I can't just shout out Alan. Mike has been doing a lot recently. Like he's really, and I'm just so proud of him, man. He's doing so much, and he's working really hard. He's really locked in right now, and he's been making a huge difference also.
Is Mike Sanford, right?
Yeah, Mike Sanford. Yes,
Yeah,
Mike Sanford. He's the head coach and owner of American Top Team. He's doing a great job right now, so I want to give him a shout out. You know, he's doing fantastic, and he's really locked in on like helping everybody and managing the gym at the same time.
Yeah,
and I think it's really impressive, and he deserves some credit.
I think we've had a lot more success too. Like because it's became more about, you know, working together as a team than doing it by yourself. Like I feel like Gavin probably could relate, like, or agree with this. Like probably like 2-3 years ago, like it was a lot more like just about me with some of the fighters. You know, like
100%.
their training is like, oh, I'm gonna run in the morning and then like, you know, hit the bag at night, and I'll come to sparring once a week. Now it's shifted more into like with the fighters recently, like, okay, hey, let's meet up Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and let's
together.
let's
go jog after class. Let's do it.
And that is the biggest difference, because I mean, you know, that it's way different working out by yourself and working out with like
with a community.
Yeah, with your
Quan is the guy to
like working out with it's the results are, you know, it's a huge difference.
Yeah, man, it is. And that's one thing I will like as far as like that. Add in the strength training, because funny story. I don't know if it's funny, but I thought it was. So like with y'all, and I was seeing y'all from afar. It was like, man, I wish I wanted to work with y'all. I'm like, man, if I could, we can add some strength in there. But I don't think that they associate strength the way that I associate strength, and it's clearly a big difference, because like seeing Allen with certain things, but then seeing Allen move. I said, dude, that is
I remember
bear.
you talking about that. Yeah,
I'm watching a damn bear, man. Like, that is incredible. But seeing him, like, getting him on the dumbbells and barbells and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, he's a human. But then he does unhuman things whenever he's next to another human. And so I'm like, how could I have a service in doing that? So like me and Adam Murray, shout out to Adam, we was discussing on like, with Bilbo. It was like, and this was before the fight. I was like, what's stopping Bilbo? Because he has a personality. The gift of gab, he can talk on the mic.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And he has a skill set.
And he has entertaining
skills.
Yeah,
entertaining skills. So it's like, what's the last thing? It's like, maybe he just needs like a good knockout. And I'm like, yeah, I think we've been working on like throwing a little bit of weight in there with the strength training, so maybe that could be something that pops off. And then the next night, boom, he knocks him out. Yeah. And I was like, Bilbo! Cold. Yeah, bro, yes. And I'm like, bruh, that is awesome. So like, for me, I'm like, that could be something we don't have to be in here lifting like archaic, like high school football kind of deal. But if you want to, it's a life for it. But I think it's a perfect blend. I mean, not a perfect blend, but it's a way of blending, you know, a way of lifting, but not diminishing or like stopping y'all from looking athletic.
Yeah.
I always want to like keep the fluidity, keep y'all elastic, keep the elasticity still there so you can still be athletic. I don't want to compromise y'all athleticism in the namesake of lifting heavy. You know, so that's what seeing Bilbo get that. I'm like, dude, I would love to get a chance to work with y'all like on a continuous basis or whatnot.
Yeah.
But then just like finding the appropriate way to building that. So with that being said, I see what you got on your shirt there, and you are one of the few that's come from, at least from that I've talked to from American Top Team, that's directly from football.
Yeah. I mean, I think Chase is the only one else I can think of.
Chase is, and Chase was a lineman now.
Yeah,
that's not an athlete.
Oh yeah, yeah. It definitely helps out.
Yeah,
just because like, man, I feel like I got hurt more in football than MMA. Like, because it's just like a car wreck. You know, I was an outside linebacker and a slot receiver, so it's just like it was way more rough than MMA. And just hitting those huge guys, like, and just it created a good mindset though at the same time. But
do you feel like that's benefited you the most, especially from like the team, the different culture that y'all trying to set here, as far as like that team camaraderie? Because obviously football is the ultimate team sport.
Yeah.
But now the MMA is starting to blend in and lean in to more of that team building kind of ordeal. Do you feel like having that football background kind of like helps you out a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, the thing I love about it is just like, you know, it's just like football locker room, like going to MMA training. Like you're just hanging, like training so much easier when you like the people you're training with. Because you're like, oh, dude, I'm just going to hang with my boys. You know what I'm saying? But you're like grinding at the same time, but you're not even thinking about it because you're having a good time, you know, just hanging out with your friends and stuff. And I mean, I've only ever felt that at football and MMA.
Yeah.
You know? So I would say it translates in that way a lot.
And what's in the water over there? Because like, y'all got some dude. I'm
Jason Knight. Yeah, he's over there.
Man, it's just, and him, even for him, like he's the smallest person I've seen from George County. Most of y'all, like my introduction to George County was this guy named, you may know him, you may not, Alonzo Lawrence.
Oh, we're tight.
And I was like, this dude is unreal. Like people don't know that this guy was like side by side with Julio Jones.
Yeah.
They were matched up in the Mississippi, Alabama.
He had like 0 catches.
Shut him down. Julio was like a unicorn.
Yeah.
But this George County guy,
he was my corner coach in high school.
Man, Alonzo, that's what I'm saying. Like, Alonzo don't know me, but me being like the nerd about sports and stuff that I am, I know who Alonzo is.
Yeah.
I know who he is. And then it was him, and then it was the nicest human being, God rest his soul, Billy Joe Johnson. That was the first time that I realized that, the SEC comes here. Because everybody was looking at him at running back.
Yeah, I've just heard stories about him.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, man. Buddy.
I think didn't he like die as a freshman or sophomore?
I think it was his junior year, sophomore year. I don't know the ins and outs of the details of his passing, but I just remember him. I remember meeting him at a South Alabama camp, and at the time, back in the day, we only read the paper, and so we'll flick the paper and see the stats. And it was like, bro, somebody's like making up these stats for this guy. It cannot be real.
Yeah.
But then when you see him in person, like, dude, he is just too damn big to be that damn nice.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at you and I'm seeing this George County. I'm like, bro, like, what y'all eating?
It's just
cornbread.
You know, one thing that really does help me out that is like a big advantage is my parents have chickens and
You chase the chickens?
No, I never did that.
Oh.
It probably works, but I never did it. But they give me eggs and for free, you know. And my grandpa does cattle, so I get like steaks and beef. So like I get like a really like organic diet. I guess that's why, you know, like there's just everybody's farming down there, so you just eat the food, you know, you kill or grow. So, and I think that definitely makes a big difference.
That makes a hell of a difference, bro.
We're talking about what was his name again?
Alonzo?
No.
Oh, Billy Joe Johnson?
Yeah, I've only saw pictures of him, and I was like, dude, that is like Mike Tyson. Like,
yeah.
Like, that dude was a mutant. Like, he was I mean, I never played with nobody like that. Like
Yeah.
that was, man, he
Dude.
would have went far.
We didn't play against each other. But again, we was all at this camp, and I was a sophomore, and I wasn't this size and I wasn't his size. I was like, man, if that's the standard, buddy, I got a ways to go. Because his ass was just like, but he was just so genuine, so authentic, and he was like almost like happy to be at South Alabama. But I'm like, well, this paper says you getting LSU and Alabama, and they don't come here unless they're about to come get somebody. Yeah. You know, like Nick Saban looked everybody in the eyes and says, I'm 2 for 2 when I come here. And when I come down here, I expect to grab somebody because I ain't coming back until I want somebody again. And he meant it. So he ain't been back since. But yeah, I'm like, that's the kind of guys that they're looking for. But he was just like happy, just joyous. And I'm like, bro, these are just nice people. And every time I run into someone that's from that area, they have this bigger than I don't know, this big life, big level of energy, just like happy for the world kind of approach. And that's the same thing with you. Like again, you see your stature and this big, and I'm thinking like gym bro, toxic kind of energy. But nah, dude, you.
Thank you, man.
Hey man, hey, how y'all doing? Like team oriented, and that's not typically in today's world, man.
I would say like just our upbringing. You know, just like it's all about family, you know, and working hard and so simple, you know, and it's just not like how it is living in the city, you know.
Man.
It really shapes you in a good way, I think. And yeah.
No, that's a good, and I'm gonna jump into Jason Knight too, because he's not, and I had the luxury of working with him a few times in here. But I really wasn't finding, I didn't have like the stronghold that I have now, like my identity the direction of how I want to go about things in here. So I'm still trying to figure out like working with fighters, how they is, and like how do they respond well to it. But he was like, no, just coach me. Lead me where you need me to be. And again, like he small, but his personality, his mental is like 6'4", you know, 280.
He'll die before he quits.
And I'm like, you can't help but rally behind someone like that, you know.
I got a good story.
Please.
I was 17 years old, and we had a youth event for my church at somebody's the youth leader's house, and they went to high school with Jason. And the youth event was we was watching a UFC event at a youth gathering. So it's funny already.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know, like, I had never saw a fight before. I was 17. And this was the first fight I ever saw was him versus Ricardo Lamas. And Ricardo Lamas was number 3 in the world. And Jason lost the fight, but I mean, it just like the way like he wouldn't quit. I was like, oh my gosh, dude, I got to do that. Like that dude's so cool. Like he lost, and I was like, man, that dude is awesome. Like I look up to that guy, even with a loss, you know, just because the mentality he had, you could see it, you know, through the performance.
The results didn't weigh in on you.
Yeah,
it was just
like when they interviewed the other guy, when Joe Rogan interviewed him, he was like, Ricardo Lamas was like, that was the toughest hillbilly I ever saw. Like, he just wouldn't die. I mean, there was a point, there was like 30 seconds of him just wailing him, and Jason just wouldn't go down.
Did you know he was from George County when you were watching the fight?
Yeah, because the guys went to high school with him, and they was like, yeah, this guy's from George County, and it was on TV, cool. And that was the same card as John Jones' Daniel Cormier. That was the main event. So I was like, my mind was just blown. I was like, man, this is the greatest thing I've ever saw. I want to be just like that guy. Yeah. That's all I could think about when I saw Jason fight for the first time.
Golly, man. I don't know. If you would have told me that I'd be like engaging with two fighters, talking about Jason Knight, like with a guy named Cornbread King, Dozier boy. No, man, no way. Also, like doing a little research. Nothing too crazy here. And it's funny that your first fight was at a Christian event.
Yeah.
So, but hey, man, depends on what version of the Bible you reading. It could be ruthless. Now that King James version ain't nothing to play with.
Yeah.
And so, with that being said, how does one continue to navigate the waters of entertainment by also like really truly like being in depth and consistent with their religion?
I would say for me, fighting is like an obstacle to get me closer to God, because you have the diet. So I mean, it's all of it together is like a denial of flesh. You know, you got to cut weight, you got to do training you don't want to do, you got to fast, you got to work hard every day,
dehydrate.
You got to
fight, which is god awful.
There's just so many moments where you have to be, where I hit my knees, you know, in that training camp when I'm 2-3 weeks out, where I'm like, God, I can't do this. Like, I'm just not. And he just gives me that strength to keep going. And I feel my relationship get closer with him. So I think that's another reason why I'm so active, is because, you know, if I don't have a fight coming up, I just feel like I'm straying away almost, because I'm not challenging my relationship with him. I'm not getting closer to him, and that's the only that gets me closer to God than anything. Just that grind.
And you notice after fights that, like, I heard this quote that was, those who are favored by God are also favored by the devil. After fights, you have things trying to pull you in the wrong direction.
Absolutely,
yeah, man.
So you gotta like really be aware.
So that's like with the entertainment thing, because again, like you have your purists or whatnot, and they're like, man, I'm just here for the sport. But it's just the nature of the beast. Like when those people are in their stands, you know, and even then, like whenever I saw you fighting the Giant,
I couldn't win that fight without God.
Yeah, you was keying in, but at one point, like at the end of that fight, you was able to acknowledge the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Because they put the mic in your face and you gotta, you know, say something. Yeah. So it's like, where do we because it's gonna come. So when do you like continue to just like, all right, I'm gonna be tested here. I know the devil's gonna rear its ugly head.
Yeah, I remember after that fight, they was like, I don't even remember what they asked me. It was, and I just like completely ignored it and was like, I just want to shout out my little brother and my older brother. They always support me, and I love them because they never missed a fight or jiu-jitsu match. Like just like, and I just wanted to show them love because, you know, how much support they gave me through this journey. And yeah.
Well, how about you? How about you, Gavin?
And you're talking about like when they put the mic in my face?
Not necessarily the mic, but just like staying true to your beliefs.
Oh,
and
okay.
In the midst of, you know.
Okay. Well, I think my beliefs personally, as far as like religion and stuff, are very or they're very fluid.
There you go.
So my beliefs are, I believe I have a close relationship with God.
Personal.
But yeah,
it
very
be
close personal relationship with God. But it might not be somebody like the agreed upon idea of God for most people that are around me, you know, because it's just different for me. And
but it's for you though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I want to know.
So but a lot of the aspects of it are still the same. The rules that God has in place, like the 10 Commandments and stuff like that, or even though I may not be a Christian per se, that's still the rules that I follow. You know what I mean? And because I think that's the ultimate truth. Those are God's rules. Whether and you can even look at the different religions, whether it's Hinduism, Buddhism, they kind of have the same rules. You know, because that's the ultimate truth.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like it's not too. I'm the same as Justice in the sense that I can't do it without God. Like I'll be doing the bike or something, and I'm like, I need you right now. I cannot do this, you know?
There we go.
But it's also like I have to ask him to strip things away from me before a fight in a way, because I'm very empathetic too. But the person that I am whenever I'm fighting is not. So like the person that I have to turn into, and I have to ask God to give me permission to make me that way. You know, like the person that I am whenever I'm fighting is just kill you. That's it. You know what I mean? So, but I'm not like that normally, you know, so I have to ask for that. And it's almost like a state that's granted to me. It's weird, but that's what works for me, you know.
No, it's
mentally.
it's the truth. I know, like, it's been certain ways where, or in different sports where people have to always and I did this like my sophomore year, I would say, have the ability to turn the switch on and switch off.
Yeah.
Because then you lose yourself.
I have to ask God for that too, you know,
the ability to turn it on and off.
Because sometimes I have to ask God to bring me back on track, because when you go into I don't know if it's the same for Justice or not, but when you go into a fight, it's not like playing basketball or something. You're like, I'm going to kill this guy. You know, that's it. Like if the ref isn't there, he's dying. You know, so you have to also ask God to like don't keep you that way, you know, like bring you back on track. Like I pray after fights and I'm like, please, like bring me back on track, bring me back where we started from, you know, because I go to a dark place for fights, you know, so it causes me to burn out a little bit, and that's another reason why I'll take a lot of time sometimes. But it's just turning this switch, I guess, back off is just asking for it, you know, like please, like bring me back where I need to be mentally, you know, to be here for others, and because it's a what do they call it, the what is it,
I wish I could help you.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's like the hurt business. That's the word that I was looking for. The hurt business. You know. So it's just that's what the sport, if you want to call it a sport, that's what it is. Like I kill you or you kill me. Like you know. So
I think it's so good for my relationship with God because of the lifestyle. Like just eat, sleep, train. You know, that living in a box. Like,
I agree with
just
that. Too.
Like, there's no time for me to have temptation to go, you know, do something bad. So I think it's just such a great sport for any troubled, you know, young man to get into that's trying to get closer to God, because it's a good distraction. You know, I mean, they say like drug addicts they get really good at working out when they get clean because they've got that
addictive trait.
Yeah, they got that addictive trait, and I've always had that addictive trait. So I just know I have to be all into something at all times, or I'm going to do harm to myself.
Yes. Okay. I got 1,000 quotes that I quote stuff all the time. But one quote that applies to that is, "The warlike man without war is at war with himself." So people like me and Justice need something to focus on, or we're going to hurt ourselves, you know?
Yeah, I can't just be a normal human function in society. Like I have to have this huge obstacle, or I'm just going to, you know, fall off the path with him.
But what that sounds like to me is that motivation isn't it, it's discipline.
Yes, yeah.
Because motivation, it ebbs and flows, it comes and goes. Sometimes you motivate to go in, and some days you don't. But the discipline that continues to show up when you don't have to or when you don't want to, I think that's what separates y'all. One thing here, and I have another one, and then we'll wrap it up. But the burnout. I've spoken to someone that talked about how a fight is almost like conquering a mountain.
Yeah.
And when you conquer that mountain, other people will seek another mountain. But the journey or the process of conquering that mountain may make one, and possibly you just be like, look, I just conquered this mountain. Let me sit atop of this mountain for a bit. Yeah. And then I'll go find the next mountain. Yeah. When the next person is like, or someone else would be like, no. You have to go conquer the next mountain. I understand the toll that it's taking you now. Yep.
It's more of a mental strain than a physical strain.
I would say what you're talking about for me, because that's something that I definitely deal with. Yeah. For me, it's like I'll conquer that. I'll climb that mountain, and the fight will be over, and then I had this urge to like be in a box for a little bit, like not even really it. And you can't do that. I have too many responsibilities to do that, so I don't get to like. That's why I have to meditate and stuff, because I don't get to heal myself in that way. But if I could, after a fight, I would be like in a room for like a week or something. Nobody can talk to me or anything. I don't know why I'm like that. I'm still trying to. It was more apparent to me after this last fight because I had that urge, like I need to be away from everybody. But then I still had so much to do. I got to teach privates. I got to do this, and so I was able to see it more this last time and be like, okay, that's what I do. Why do I do that? And kind of try to delve into it. And I'm still trying to figure it out, like why that is. And I think a lot of the stuff that happens, like this last fight, obviously you're training a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on. You're getting messages from people when they find out you're fighting. I was trying to handle ticket sales, and then all of a sudden I got asked to be on the news. Now I'm on the news a couple days before. A couple days before my fight. There's just too much happening a lot of the time, and then I'm like, okay, fight's over. Like, leave me alone now.
Leave me be. Leave me be.
I totally understand. Understand what he's saying, because when you win a fight, you win a big fight. It's your phone's blowing up. Everywhere you go in public, it's like, hey, I saw that fight. Hey, man, you're gonna be in the UFC. It's like a pressure. You're like, oh man, dude, this dude believes in me.
Yeah,
like it's
so
like,
true.
It's just a lot. It's really overwhelming. Just so much is happening so fast.
Yeah,
with especially really just other people, the way they talk to you,
the external factors or whatnot.
Yeah,
that's the best way to say it. So much is happening so fast.
Yeah, but again, like with that, it's like when you sign up for this, that's the stuff that you don't think about, but it's coming. Yeah, and you're like, damn, dude. But you want to be like, no, leave me alone. But then you're like,
you start
we need to, no, you got to do this because for the next fight, you ain't got to hustle tickets because they know who you come. Stuff of that nature is like, man, when I guess so much of the outside work would it impact the inside work, because like as you grow and get bigger, especially in this grind, it's like, man, this used to be a side hustle, but like now it's the main thing, and now I have to continue. I can't turn it off. Yeah, exactly. I'm always Gavin a fight. I'm always Gavin promoting. I can't be just.
And that's the other thing too, Quan. Is like nobody will talk to you about anything but that. If they're not also a fighter, good luck trying to have a conversation with them that's not about fighting, because they're like talking to you about fighting the whole time, so it's never really about other stuff. They're asking you, when's your next fight, blah blah blah, what's this, like
I'll fight, and like 2 days later, like every person that I know that's not a fighter is like, man, when's the next one? And it's like, bro,
hey,
let me chill
up.
this. Like, I prepared. I killed myself for 3 months getting ready for this. And don't ask me when the next one is.
When the next one is.
But, I'm just like, I don't know. But I totally understand what he's saying. Yeah.
That, again, like this is, and that's why I like it, because I like having these conversations, because a lot of times cats don't know. I equate this to me and Batchy. We love movies. Yeah, we love filming, and we love, like, it's the audience that stays for the end credit scenes, and they list off the names at the end of the movies, and they see how many people are part of that process, opposed to just the stars of the movie. And then it's the people that as soon as the movie's done, they've seen the stars, they've seen everybody. All right, they leave. So, like with us,
that's an awesome.
I want to be able to be like, hey, this is more depth. It's more to it. Because again, the first time that they see y'all, it's that seeing y'all doing the act of fighting. Yeah. So they say like it stops there, but there's so much more depth. Yeah. It's the people, not the person. Exactly. I mean, it's the people, not the athlete. Yeah. That y'all are. That it's like, hey, I have more identity than just this. So with that being said, and also with the external factors coming into play, do you believe that coaching matters in MMA?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Do you believe that coaching could lose a fight opposed to winning a fight?
Yeah. Yes. Everybody coaches different. Yeah. Like at ATT, like I get a lot of good, like I get some good sparring in at ATT, but I'll go to Mobile and I'll get really good like cage grappling work. And now I'm like combining them, you know, like I have 2 skills, you know, so I like to train around a lot because every single gym trains in a different way and it's going to affect the way you fight because that's what you're taught. You know, nobody's born a good fighter.
Yeah.
Like nobody.
So true.
Yeah.
So,
I like that.
yeah, coaching is everything.
Yeah. It's like getting good technical advice, and also having a coach that it feels like they got your back is important. There's like different facets of it too. You know, like you can have a coach that just leads you just completely in a bad direction, and people see you as a bad fighter, and I mean, there's a certain amount that you can kind of handle it yourself, but people might see the end product like, man, this guy lost 4 fights in a row, but you have some idiot that's that's telling you what to do, you know?
Yeah.
Or
That's true.
Like I'll see it all the time, like a 1-0 pro, a fight like a 12-0 guy, you know, and I'm like, what is
You're
this
like,
coach?
what?
I'm like, what? You know, and I'm like, what is his coach thinking? You know, like you need to at least be like 6-0, 7-0. Like you need to work your way up the ladder. You don't just jump all the way. Like, and that's where the coach needs to come in and be like, hey man, we need to wait a little bit. Like you need to fight somebody else 1-0.
Because it's almost disrespectful to think that you can, like, of
absolutely.
course, you want to believe in yourself, but there's a certain amount of respect you need to have for your opponents too. Like there's nothing wrong with going, that I'm not ready to fight that guy. You know, like it is not time for me to fight that guy. That's a bad choice. You know, let me work on myself some more. Let me get better. You know, it's not always time to fight whoever they. You know, it's not a healthy mindset. Yeah.
Y'all both have a level of humility, man, and vulnerability that y'all have that I haven't, especially like just from a younger demographic. That's not in today's like society, especially whenever and with the athletes that I engage with. So it's refreshing to see, and every time I'm impressed with you every time I talk to you, man.
Would you say it's like a basketball player, a football player, a baseball player? Like, are you saying like they want you to like think they're tough, but like in fighting, like you're gonna know if you're tough or not? Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, what you talking about from the depth of whatnot? Oh no.
Or just having humility.
Just having humility and just having more of a humble approach opposed to like from the outside looking in. Most of the time when I see if I'm consuming a sport that is mixed martial arts, it's hard, it's rough, it's physical, it's visceral, like all that is blood and guts, like all that stuff is there, and you don't expect to see, oh man, hey, nice to meet you, you know, like the very kind. And I can say in like the more in depth that I've gotten in with y'all, and then listening to like Daniel Cormier and hearing who else, dude?
There's so many guys.
Yeah, so many guys. I know, I love Rashad Evans. But beforehand it was like the rough, like Rampage. What's
Vanderlei Silva?
Man, dude, looked like Barack off Mortal Kombat, bro. Just rough looking, man. But it was so Iceman, like these are rough guys. What's Buddy that with the brother?
Diaz.
Yes, Nate.
Oh my god.
Just rough guys. I'm like, all right, I expect him to be that, but now it's kind of like this Eastern peaceful Eastern hemisphere kind of like peaceful approach to what the Western side of the world dubbed as the warrior. It's this Western spaghetti, blood, guts, like just rough and rugged, but now it's like more of a peaceful, eternal.
I think on the eastern side of the world, like in Asia, they were just farther ahead than we were. You know,
I definitely believe that. So like the warrior, I'm a lot of times we're reactionary, where like you don't go to the hospital until you're sick. So a lot of times we're like we'll witness something that happens, like the transition of anything typically like in pop culture. Like when baggy jeans came out, then everybody started wearing tight shit. Now big things are coming back, and they're like, oh man, when did that shift happen? Right now, or at least for me, I'm noticing the shift in the approach of the Eastern approach to the warrior mentality.
I feel like it's the natural direction for things to go with warriors. Like even if you look at like ancient Greece and Rome, you look at ancient Japan, the warriors in these cultures, they would normally start to go in a direction that is literature, learning, developing the spirit. Like the samurai, which are like some of the greatest warriors ever, during, I think it was the Edo period where there was peace in Japan, a long reign of peace in Japan, their focus became education and teaching, and then they were in different, like poetry, stuff like that, you know. So it's like these are some of the baddest, most dangerous guys, but this is their focus right now because there's no war happening. So now we need to develop the spirit. Like the war is now in here, so let's develop it in here.
The eternal war.
Yeah. Like a warrior is always fighting, even if it's not
physical.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Badgie, got anything for us? Or you just bobbing out over there?
No, that was great. That was great. Great detail, great knowledge, great insights from you guys. And great episode, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, before we end, I would like to get a top, the greatest. Let me get your what is it? Mount Rushmore.
Oh heck yeah!
Mount Rushmore of mixed martial artists.
Gavin, go first.
Okay.
And we'll end it there.
Number one for me will,
and that's 5 people. If people don't know.
Okay, so it's 5 on
the Mount Rushmore. Yeah.
Okay, I was about to ask you that. I was like, how many is on Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, man. It's 5 slave owners.
So number one for me will always be George St. Pierre. I hope to God. Like, it would be so cool if he could hear me talking about this.
Yeah.
I love GSP.
GSP.
So, yeah, GSP to me because he is just like he embodies all that, the spirit, everything.
He made it cool.
Yeah, exactly.
He made UFC cool, man.
Yeah.
He transitioned it.
Yeah, George St. Pierre is like my biggest inspiration.
Yeah.
And also he's the first like super well-rounded fighter that's just really good everywhere.
He did everything, bro.
Then it would be Jones. Then I would say Mighty Mouse.
Ooh, okay.
So we're GSP,
Okay, DJ?
Jones, Mighty Mouse, Anderson Silva,
Oh yeah.
and then
He had like 15 losses though.
I just think before, like
Yeah,
I think
before he
Before he started saying like he started
I think
chasing the
fought
cash
too
or something.
long.
Yeah.
I think he fought too long.
He didn't know when to
didn't
leave.
when to stop. Yeah, but I think him in his prime is
Man.
just a legend. And then I think, man, I might say Khabib for number 5.
Yeah.
I might say
No
Khabib.
Lyoto Machida.
I might say Khabib for number 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a solid list, man.
That's crazy. The only undefeated guy at number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, like this. No, he just stockpiling wins. Like nobody
Yeah.
noticing. Like, all right,
Yeah.
you know. So
I guess technically Jones is undefeated, you know,
Oh
whatever. but
yeah. They took it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1, Khabib, because he never lost, and he's like, I just want to be just like him in the style sense.
yeah.
Number 2, Jones, because he has like 15 title defenses.
Yeah.
You know, Khabib had like 3. You know, I mean, just the way that run he had those years. You know, and just how ferocious. You know, he was. It was just so violent.
Yeah, his brother was a damn defensive tackle, man.
Yeah.
Like,
And number 3, put Mighty Mouse, just because how good technically he is. Like he is like, he doesn't have a weakness. Like he's mastered every skill and aspect of the sport.
Yeah.
And number 4, GSP. Yeah, GSP, because he was 26-2, but the 2 guys he lost to, he went back and beat them. So he like redeemed himself. So it's like this crazy like
and dominated.
Yeah, dominate him. It's like a movie. You know, they could make a movie on GSP's career because he was just the way it played out of how he beat the guys they lost to. And number 5, I'd have to just say Conor McGregor because of the impact of the sport he made.
Yeah.
Like how many fans he brought to the sport, you have to say.
If we had a
Conor.
number 6 spot, I would set him.
And you think about it, like if you watch like a UFC presser now, like a press conference, like
everybody trying to be
like Conor. They trying to talk like Conor McGregor. So I'd say him number 5.
Yeah, I like that how you mix in the reasonings and the impact of it. I like how you had your style first. Your style was number 1. Like, look, I'm gonna go one in my style, but like Conor, John Jones, and GSP, like in different like eras or whatnot, impacted outside of like the ring. The skill set was there, but the other stuff that brought like guys like me to love something is like, man, what the hell is this? You know? Yeah. And that's, I think, like that transition, like when it's transcendent, is really, really awesome. Well, man, it's been an awesome episode. I do truly appreciate y'all's time. So before we go, is there anything in particular, like if it's someone that that wants to like step into this world, but they don't know how to go about it, and however way, I want you to speak life into like the warrior's journey in a sense.
If you know it's in your heart to be a fighter, then it's just as simple as just show up to the gym. So many guys text me or I talk to and they're like, I want to be a fighter, but they don't have the courage to step into the gym. So, I mean, it's literally that simple. The guy who shows up to the gym the most is going to be, victorious. So, I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah. All right, man. Hey, there you have it, bro. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. This has been Savage Mountain Podcast. Appreciate you, bro.
Oh, dude, it was awesome.
Thank you.